Hi, I'm Warren, and this is the Crackerjack MTG Weekly Finance Hack, the show where we look at the top 10 gainers from the week and figure out what to do with them. Before we get started, make sure you like and subscribe, and let me know what you would do with these cards. First on our list, Hedron Archive from Time Spiral Remastered. We have our new Mishra and Urza decks, which are all retro frame, so this seems like a good upgrade there, but remember, Hedron Archive just isn't that great of a card. There's got to be better cards out there. If you have a bunch of copies, it's probably time to buy list them or sell them if you can. Our next card is from Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. It's Rogue Class. The huge upside here is you don't have to actually attack with rogues to make this card do its thing. Stealing and playing cards from your opponents is a really popular thing in EDH. And there have been lots of ninjas printed in the last year, which allows you to get even more bonuses. It's a good time to buy list this card if you've been holding them. Knight Paladin is our next card. It's still trying to find its price point. It's crawling back up in price as copies drain out of the market. There's limited copies available of this card because the 40k precons just don't have that many out there. And people are buying them and holding them or buying them and breaking apart. There's no sometimes on these. So sell the copies you don't need. Moving on, we've got Ravenous Baboons from Exodus. This creature comes in and destroys a non-basic land. The real thing is, it goes into the Kibo Uktabi Prince deck because there's a limited number of monkeys and baboons in Magic's history. If for some reason you have a bunch of Exodus cards, this might be a good one to buy list right now. The next card we're going to talk about is an Ultimate Commander Classic. How about Tempt with Discovery? This card hasn't been printed since Mystery Boosters. Move your extra copies if you have them. Up next, we've got Springbloom Druid. It's an elf with Harrow attached to its ETB. There's been lots of TCG player sales right around this market price point. If you have this specific copy, it might be a good time to try and sell them or buy list them, as you can get about 50 cents per copy with CK right now. With our next card, we're looking at a little bit of discrepancy. Shamanic Revelation has had a bunch of sales over the last week. Most of them are under $1, but there was a sale for around $20 and another for around $5. This is a wild one-of misclick. Avoid buying this card right now. All right, for our next card, we're going back to Time Spiral Remastered for Retro Frame Zulaport Cutthroat. Time Spiral Remastered, still super popular a couple years, or almost a couple years out. Zulaport Cutthroat is the 7th most popular black card on EDH Rec. For me, this is an easy pickup. Zulaport Cutthroat is super playable. It's probably the best card at what it does. All right, our second biggest gainer for the week, Dance of the Mance from the Buckle Up Precon in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty. This is movement of a card into a deck based on a really popular character. We're gonna see Urza a lot over the next year, year and a half, 2 years. So this card being readily available from another precon is gonna be a really good include. If you have a bunch of these, I think it's time to sell them. All right, it's time for our biggest mover of the week. But first, make sure you like and subscribe and let me know what you thought about the top 10 movers this week. Here we go. Chaos Defiler. This card is moving because of its include in a Legacy Painter Servant deck. This card has real legs in this deck because you can Goblin Weld it in and out of the graveyard and remove permanents from your opponent's board. I think you can hold this card right now. There's not really any reason to sell. It's gonna move up. Legacy still does that for some reason. All right, thanks for taking a look at the Crackerjack Weekly MTG Finance Hack. Make sure that you like and subscribe. We're gonna be bringing this to you so you can up your finance game in Magic the Gathering.